Boom, we live. What's going on?
Yeah.
People's gonna be able to have internet for it or not. So what's going on, WEedNerdWorld? I'm gonna roll up a joint.
Okay.
Smoke one. See if Eagle gets connection.
They said at least get it fired up for the phone one way. So we could at least try to get it going, right?
Yeah.
No connection.
All right, I gotta get chat up.
Cheers to Chad. I can't see Chad at all yet.
Yeah, I see him. Bill Jester, Jason Eyestone. Appreciate you guys. What's going on? Thursday night. Been without internet all night. I didn't get to catch any of the shows and cool dude stuff.
You been without internet tonight?
Yeah, for whatever reason, when I was out at the barn, it was like there's certain spots that I can set it and it'll like, I don't know, get it, but it was like, yeah, I couldn't. I kept walking around the whole fucking place trying to set my phone someplace so I would get access, but I don't know, must have been the storms or the weather or something.
I've been active here too all day. It's quite spring. Shitty, but my home network's been really bad today. Now there's a lot of shit incoming. So,
Yeah, you're breaking.
yeah.
Breaking it up pretty good. Did I lose him again? No, you're there.
Am I getting the robot voice?
A little bit. Not too bad now. Sorry about that. I didn't mute before I did the getting all my trichomes out so I don't waste my weed, as Eagle says, in my grinder. Waste my weed. Make sure I get all my trichomes. What's going on, SoCal, top floor? You guys in? Yeah. Keep bouncing back from chat. I don't know if you're frozen or not. Like,
There we go.
that was badass.
We'll put the other one on hold there, just in case. Just in case. Chat now. Now I feel like I'm getting somewhere. So how was your day, Smiley? Now that I can at least communicate a little bit.
My day was good, man. I did a little transplanting. I got my Wormies GR vermicompost delivered, actually. I don't know if you caught the living soil one today on Future Cannabis, but Chandler from his Jet House Gardens on Instagram, but he's from the Wormies place. He was on there today talking. It's a pretty kick-ass one. Chandler's cool as fuck. I don't know if you remember him. He was on the Organic Takeover. A few months back. Yes, no.
Technical difficulties.
I was just gonna say somebody's gonna have to jump in, or it's gonna be pretty slow going for that.
Oh, that regular banter. I can hear you. I'm just fucking sidetracked with trying to get the stupid headphone. I should have just leave it be.
Yeah, I can hear you fine now.
I've been busy trying to chop some stuff down. Taking the herbs dryer.
Oh yeah, that's always a good time. You're right along with everybody else, man. I seem like everybody's chopping right now.
This damn thing find my headset. What am I connected? Johnny Candy Suit coming to help. Johnny's coming to help. Smiley.
Yay, Johnny. That's good. Yeah, man, it was good today, though. Got some shit done. Got some other shit done.
Trying to get some shit. Right.
Happy the watering system's working pretty good. Except now I keep fighting these fucking pinhole leaks that pop in. Like I got, I don't know, it's flexible hose or whatever to, running between all the dripper stations or whatever. Now it's under pressure, higher pressure or whatever. I keep running into these like little pinhole fucking leaks. The shitty part is like some of them will shoot straight up and you can kind of visually catch them. But the ones that are shooting down into the ground, you don't visually catch. You're just like, what the fuck, man? I got the dripper off and this thing's still wet. So like it takes you a couple days to figure out that the fucking thing's spraying a pinhole leak right down into the soil, like constant. Oh, awesome. So this one's been wet for 3 days.
Sounds like you're going to have to do a revamp on all those little connections. What's up, everybody?
I don't know, man. Maybe, Johnny. How you doing tonight?
Good.
Good. You jumped in just in time. You got a frozen eagle over here.
Uh-oh. We do have a frozen eagle, don't we?
The eagle is frozen.
Yeah. Shoot, howdy. Yeah. Hey, Eagle. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
Sorry, I missed the show last night. I had another one of those nights where I just passed the hell out and just didn't wake up.
That was a good one, man. Did you watch
Well,
it back or not?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get through it. I started getting into it, and then I had to get some other stuff. Somebody called me, and I had to take off. So the last couple of days have been kind of crazy. I got a bunch of, I guess you would say, like paperwork kind of shit, legal type shit that I was needing to get done, and it just it took it all out of me.
No, I hear you, man. Sometimes it's like that.
Yeah, and when I got home, I took a couple of hits and I laid down, and that was it. I was done.
Also needed to sleep, man.
Yeah, that's one of those.
That was joking.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, now I was wondering if you're going to store your smoke in like a humidor or something like that, that's going to keep it at a controlled temperature, dark container, kind of, glass sealed. Will that preserve the flower itself for a longer period rather than kind of like a humidor or something like that? That's going to Who's there?
I think keeping it at a constant temperature and humidity is gonna keep it longer. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like out of direct light. So I don't know if having a window in there is gonna be anything, but yeah.
Okay. Now here's another part of that question was, what if you were to keep your flower that was already cured and set to what you wanted it to, if you put it into the freezer, would that,
I wouldn't do that.
you wouldn't do that?
I don't know. I guess
No, don't put it in the freezer.
Okay, I was wondering what that would do to the bud. What would it do to the trichomes? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's when you pull it out of the
brittle.
freezer. Sorry, there you go.
It just makes it super. Anytime I've ever put cannabis in a freezer, because I have back in the old days, that's, if you want to keep it for a longer period of time, keep it, smellless. You are worried about the smell, put it in the freezer. But anytime you put it in the freezer, pulled it back out, it just crumbled. It dried out even faster, super fast, and it just crumbled.
Okay, that was just something that came across my mind that I didn't understand. I didn't know what it would do to it, and I was just wondering. So,
what were you gonna say, Smiley? What's your experience?
I was just gonna say when you pull it out, it's gonna be the problem. It's gonna get wet.
yeah, the condensation. I would think if you were pulling it in and out, it would get moist inside it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You don't pull it in and out.
Right.
It's either in or out.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Once it hits the freezer, your best bet after that is just turn it into hash. Put it in the
Okay.
bubble bucket. It's been my experience that I tried that once a long time ago with some green crack. And what happened was it went in there beautiful and it came out, and just like Eagle said, it just falls apart. It just crumbles into shake and, little piece of crap, little nugs, and it's harder to deal with almost.
All
And I don't
right.
know about if it, does anything with potency or anything like that, but I do know that it did ruin it. You can't take it out of the freezer, throw it in your little to-go nug jar, and take it over to your buddy's house and smoke. It's going to be shit by the time you get there.
Gotcha. Yep, that was one of those questions. It was just, it just got to me, and I didn't know how to answer it for myself. So I figured I'd ask you guys.
Now, I can say on your other question, I can't speak for a humidor itself, but I can tell you that I have a old dresser that I use that's, it's old school, like old. It's actually real oak, thing weighs
Right.
more than one person can move. And I've noticed when I store stuff in there, it stays a lot better than if I just store it, like say on top of the dresser.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if that helps for what you're looking for, but
Well, I'm in a hot climate, so storing something in a drawer is probably not conducive to what it needs.
and see, I keep that room at about 60, 68 degrees constantly anyway. So
yeah, so that's the difference there. I have a hard time keeping a tempered climate in my area, it just kind of is what it is when it gets super hot. So that was a question. Yeah. Just wondered about it.
What's Bingus? Bingus, what do you think about that?
Oh, I'm not sure what you were talking about. I just threw a huge.
Well, that's a perfect time to come in and give some advice.
Excuse me. How you guys doing?
Good to see you, Bingus.
I think it's more keeping it airtight, keeping it out of light. I heard you mention glass jars. I think we just got caught on glass jars because That was the first thing that we could use that was airtight. The trichomes don't stick to nearly as bad as plastic. I've heard things like plastic kind of does bad things to your cannabis. I don't believe that. I think it's just more of a leak issue, and I know your cannabis loves to stick to it as far as trichomes and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons I don't use plastic, but that's why more or less keeping it airtight, keeping it in a cooler temperature, keeping it out of light for long term.
Yeah, like a wine bottle. You'd store it in something like a wine cellar or something.
Storing, I have a cooler that I keep at about 55 to 60 degrees. And if I have any that is trimmed that I need to keep, it goes into a jar and into the cooler. Actually, it doesn't go in a jar. I do have plastic little tubs. Each one has about an ounce in it. And but I try not to store weed. I want to have it fresh off the vine whenever. My 2 cents. How you guys doing? What's up, Eagle, Smiley, SoCal, Johnny?
Hey, what's up?
Cheers, Vegas. I'm doing well. How are you, my friend?
Good, good. It's been I've been getting up early, so I haven't been able to make the wormholio, and so I took an extra long nap today. So I'm gonna try to make it, and then 11:30 rolled around. I'm like, oh fuck, my timing's off. Right? But then I just went and took a crap and came back, and here you are.
There it is.
That's one hell of a fleet out there. That's
Dude.
one hell of a fleet.
Flushing is always good. Good to see everybody.
Well, I
in
think
chat
I'm
room.
gonna take a hit on that one.
Right on.
There you go.
I got
If I
some
could find my lighter.
good stuff here. I'm smoking on.
So it turns out I'm not going to be able to make the road trip out for that event.
No road trip. Dang.
No, we were going to try to make it out to the Rainbow Farms or whatever it was. But the input shaft in my transmission came out of the transmission. So,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah.
Oops.
Yeah,
So
it went.
you've been put out by that input.
Yeah, it went straight through the side of the bell housing. So
Wow.
it took everything in its path with it. So there's no rebuilding that one.
Dang.
Yeah, so unfortunately, till I go buy a brand new tranny, I'm not going too far.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with mine right now too.
At the price of cars nowadays, it's cheaper to rebuild what you got. That's the approach I'm taking lately. I went out to kind of look for a new car. I was like, fuck, are you kidding me? I'm not trying to buy a house here.
Yeah, I think my neighbor's he iced my lighter.
Oh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I had a
How
roommate
cool.
that used to, I had a roommate that used to steal lighters.
Intentionally.
Yes,
Not-
he would have empty pick lighters. And he would see what color your lighter is, and then he'd switch it out with an empty one. Motherfucker. So I started marking my lighter. I started like putting a little divot in the end of it, right? I'm like, all right, show me where your fucking your lighter stash is, because you just stole my fucking lighter. What?
What?
He had fucking hundreds of them, motherfucker.
I had a buddy like that too. It was like his collection. He'd leave a party with like 10 fucking lighters. Like he would go around intentionally fucking getting people's lighters. Like,
Dude, it was like a fetish. I swear.
yeah, it was like, and one time I was over to his house, man, and he opened up, he had a fucking suitcase. And he opened it up with full fucking lighters. I was like, what the fuck? That one's mine. That one's, and then he quick shut the suitcase and slid it into his closet. I'm like, you son of a bitch. It's funny shit.
Fucking Vicks are expensive nowadays.
I guess, man. Yeah, you had a fucking suitcase full of them.
Dude, people, I don't know, man. Humans have the weirdest fetishes, I guess.
Yeah.
Crazy. I'm not sure what mine is. Smoking weed. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I guess maybe it's a good pickup spot for a girl because if you take all the lighters at the party and she needs one, I mean, you got your opening to talk to her. So.
You just make sure you don't give the lighter that was hers.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, that looks familiar. Really? I
no,
lost that about 6 months ago.
oh. Yeah. Good to see you guys. Did you have a nice vacation there, SoCal?
It was awesome.
I
It was
see some
awesome.
of your seafood. I used to own a seafood market. You know that?
Oh, no shit.
In a poker game, I actually got into it with another guy. We didn't know shit about seafood, but I learned really quick. And it did well. But if you want to work yourself to death, get a seafood market. And you will work yourself to death.
Well, I fish like crazy. I mean, if I hadn't have screwed up my shoulder, I would have probably done 12, 15 trips out for tuna by now. But
You're deep. You like the saltwater fishing?
yeah. But I do not eat fish. I will not eat it.
I don't eat much fish.
Last summer, I probably gave away 800 pounds of bluefin tuna. Just gave it away. So the wife tells me that she wants to go out for sushi with her friends. Cool, whatever, have fun, enjoy. I'm not going. Well, for some reason, I got this wild hair up my ass and decided, hey, I might as well try it. You know, there's all this hype about sushi. Might as well try this shit. So I went to this place with the wife yesterday and kind of didn't know what I wanted. So I ordered like this sampler thing. They called it the boat, right? And I'm thinking like, you know, a boat, like a fucking banana split used to come in, you know? No, man, they brought me out the goddamn fucking USS Kitty Hawk full of raw fish.
The destroyer.
Dude, so we got a little table. It was just me and the wife, you know? So we got a little table, just, you know, a little table for two. And it took up the whole goddamn table.
It was just like that when Wilma brought out that side of ribs for Fred, set it on the table and it tipped the whole table over.
Good one,
Yeah,
Jeff.
pretty much.
Good one. Good analogy.
Pretty much. I'll tell you what, though, for 30 bucks, I was impressed with the amount of food.
Did you like it?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say no, but I can't say yes. I mean,
I don't
it
like
It's your
wasn't.
first time, right?
That was my
Rough.
first time eating. Yeah.
I'd have to be
You're
really
right.
hungry. I'd have to be really hungry to like raw fish.
There's other things that you eat for the first time that you just don't know whether you're enjoying that or not either.
I will say though, as someone who does not like anything, I got talked into eating some sushi, and they knew the sushi chef too or whatever, friends of mine, and fucking some of them things are pretty damn good.
Really?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they got me drunk. I'm like, I ain't eating none of that shit, and then we started drinking some beer or whatever, and then all of a sudden they had another plate. But some of that shit's pretty good, man. It is. It's not a craving I have, like, oh, I gotta go get sushi.
I want sushi. No.
Yeah.
I do.
The wasabi was my craving.
Yeah.
Was the wasabi on the side, the wasabi mixture that you make up? I just, I couldn't get enough of that. You know,
Pistachio pudding.
Thing is if you had, if you,
I
if you
would go for some wasabi pudding.
you looked at the tests that some of the times we would have to do with the health department, you wouldn't be eating a lot.
Really?
There's a lot of metals and dude, I was getting towards the end before I sold, I was getting it was when we had the BP oil spill in the Gulf, and I'm getting oil balls up in the Puget Sound in my oysters. I'm like, what the fuck? Because it is a connected ecosystem, the ocean.
Oh yeah, it's all one unit.
It connects. And then I would get tilapia, but if you you tested it, you'd never eat it. So then I started buying it from farms. Same thing. You'd have different types of diseases. So there was one farm in, I forget where it was, but it was run by a religious group. Clean, very clean fish, right? Lutherans, I think. And they had it, I mean, I don't know, but man, fucking you couldn't afford to buy it. It's like, wow. So I saw the writing on the wall. I really feel for seafood markets out there because it's fresh stuff that you got to get rid of, right? And we had live crab tanks and lobster tanks, and I had live tilapia tanks and what have you. And that was one way to you buy the fish small, let them grow up in your tank. Then you make like $1 each, I mean, you don't make shit, and all this money that you put into it. So it's really you got to do volume in any kind of market. You got to push the volume. So we had some wholesale customers, a bunch of Chinese places that would buy our shrimp and all the other little stuff that we could sell and make a profit to stay in business for the over-the-counter business, which you really didn't make a lot of money on. And but that's when I really fell in love with Catholic religious holidays. Fuck, we would have people lined out the door. I mean, dude, unbelievable sales. Just, as much fish as you had, it was going out the door. So, I mean, it was a good business, but it was very off and on. Some days you sit around and twiddle your thumbs, talk to the fish. Other days you just wish to God it would be over, It's crazy. We would cut fish. I was getting pretty good at cutting fish for people, and had a large Hispanic clientele, learned how to speak Spanish. Marisco, mucho mariscos. And it was fun for 4 years until I wanted to shoot myself in the head because it was so much work. It's unbelievable. So fuck that. If you wanted a good store, clean, you'd walk into our store, it'd be like going to the beach. I mean, you walk in and you smell the, oh wow, this is, and people would come in, and we got a lot of business. I sold it. That's a seafood story from Vegas.
It was an experience.
Yeah,
I'm glad. I'm sure you're glad you had it too.
I was kind of proud of myself and my boys, my 2 oldest boys. The guy that really wanted the seafood market, T10, God rest his soul. Okay. Young guy, terrible poker player. But he said, hey, I'm thinking of getting this business, and would you like to, I need the capital, basically. He needed money. And I said, all right, well, how much? It was reasonable. And I go, well, let's take a look. I opened the books, and it was owned by a Chinese couple. I was like, this looks decent. So I said, all right, I'll tell you what, I'll put the money down, you run it, and I take half. Right? I thought it was a great deal. And this is his lifelong dream, and his family wants to run it and all this shit, right? Fuck me gently with a chainsaw. I mean, they had no idea what a work ethic is, number one. Customer service, number 2, that didn't exist. And fucking 6 months into it, T10, 36 years old, goes to sleep one night, has a brain aneurysm, and fucking dies. So I'm sitting there going, oh, fuck. And so that's when I got my two oldest boys. I said, hey, seafood, what do you think? Fuck
That's this business idea.
So we learned real fast how to put that together. The three of us together, man, there's pretty much not much we could do. And so it's just a learned thing. We kept the guy, the Mexican guy that was working there. And he was the guy that taught us. I gave him a raise immediately. Said, no, you're going to teach us how to do this shit. And he's like, what? So, yeah, it was fun. It was an adventure. Like most things I do, it's like, if it's not going to be fun, if it's not going to be adventurous, fuck it. I usually don't get involved too deep. Anyway, let's shut up now. Sorry.
Thank you, Bingus.
Cheers, Hemp with GG. How you doing?
Cheers, everyone. All right.
Hemp with GG, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Just chilling in my garden. I should be sleeping, but I said fuck it. Show you my girls. They're 6 weeks now. I remember how to turn on the camera on them.
Dude, barefoot in the garden. That's always fun.
Yeah, they're about 6 weeks.
Nice. Healthy.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Nuggy.
So did you thin out any of those leaves?
What I ended up doing was just doing I'll show you my humidity right now. It's beautiful. $51.
So what'd you do?
Yeah. I just cleaned out this crap, all this larf that's usually like folded up in all these branches. I just cleaned these out and took the leaves. So it got me a little more airflow.
Yep. Yeah, it was a little hairy down in the lower section there. You know, sometimes you got to clean those ladies up so they can put on the nicer outfits.
You want to see something crazy I had to do? I'll show you something crazy. I had to ratchet strap her. She was falling over. The entire plant was.
Oh shit! You set up a porta cable on it.
Yeah, I put one of the light fucking movers on it or whatever, the pull strings.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. She wanted to fall over. That was the only
That's the one. That's the one that was leaning hard, huh?
This is the one that was leaning, but nothing compared to her. She was on the back wall when I came in. She fell completely over.
Wow.
Yeah, she wasn't playing any games.
She didn't root up properly, or what was it?
I don't know. It was weird for sure. She seems to be healthy, but I had to put a bunch of poles in because shit was just falling over. Same thing here.
I like the ratchet idea though. That's good.
It works, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah, heck, you could have used the zip tie on that too.
Yeah, that ain't a bad idea either. I can take out this plant and show you actually how big these are. Open up. There she is. She's a big girl.
Yeah, she is. Looks good.
Let's do it from the side too.
Yeah. They'll look like they're nice and even. So,
Hoping to pull like 3.5 pounds out of this. We'll see.
out of the tent itself.
Yeah, out of the tent. I'm basing it on grams per micromole based on what I usually get, which is like 0.65.
Oh boy. Ratios and calculations on that.
Yeah,
I would never figure out what I'd make with that.
Well, it used to be by watt, you know, how many grams can you get out of the wall by watt? But with LEDs now, they're trying to get less watts out of the wall and more fucking micro mold in your tent.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Crazy. So now you kind of got to judge it off micro mold instead of watts. I know growers that can get like a gram per micro mold. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it.
Hey, Green Fingers, you haven't even said hello yet.
Dude,
What's up, bro?
Great Robert's like a fixture.
He is.
All right. I mean, it's like, you know,
It's like a,
you recognize it as soon as you come in, just to make so you know you're in the right place.
I recognize that poster.
I know
I'm
that
good.
guy. Guy, he looks like Paul Wallace from the fifth kind. Red Pill, what's up, buddy? He snuck in the back door too. I left it open for you.
I showed you guys my ugly ass autos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking I'm just gonna chop them down tomorrow. I'm done looking at them.
better than my whole garden.
So I was gonna ask the hemp, how do you do, like, is that grams per average you mull, or is that a
Your total ppf, which for instance, like the Fold 8 is 1600 usable ppf. So you could times that by the average, which is what people get around 0.65, and then it's going to give you a total grams. And if you're under that gram, you obviously have to times it by like 0.50 or something until you get to what you yielded.
I've not heard that term before.
But yeah, if we look at this light, total ppf of 2464, so you'd have to times that by 0.65. I think it comes out to 57 ounces. But with every light, I've pretty much averaged around 0.65, but I'm not 100% sure with this one because I'm pushing it way more light than what should be in here. That's why this girl has some light burn on her. Has to be. Nobody else is doing it. She was the first one to start trying to burn the tips, and that's when I raised the light up. Yeah, every manufacturer is going to tell you the total usable ppf. You've got to figure out it. But yeah, these are coming down tomorrow, these autos. Done looking at them. Ugly ass smoke, fuckers.
They're
Yeah,
not that ugly.
They're not that ugly.
No, they're not that ugly. Come on, don't
No.
be
Yeah.
be dissing on that baby girls like that. Don't be doing
Yeah.
that.
Don't be
There's
punching
other
not
out.
women
ugly.
in that room there. You start giving a bad vibe, they're gonna start picking that stuff up. You'll have all yellow leaves in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Tell him, Johnny.
You get a group of ladies mad at you, you know. You got to keep that positive vibe up inside that room, man. I always tell them how pretty they are, you know.
I smoke weed with them every morning. I usually sit on this bench, have some coffee, smoke some weed, and stare into the light to lower my sperm count.
Is it wrong when I say, did you gain weight?
Did I gain weight?
No, I say that to the ladies in my
that'd
tent.
be wrong
Is
to say
that-
though.
Is that wrong to say it to the ladies in the tent though? Did you gain weight last night?
They might say thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit reversed on that part there, I would think.
Twerking.
DG Rumboy in chat's asking if you're running organic, but I thought
No, this is I don't know why or how to see chat, I should say, but no, this is Fox Farm Ocean Forest. I started them in Happy Frog and Solo Cups, and then straight Ocean Forest. I didn't feed in veg, and then when I did, I only fed every other water.
With the Fox Farm lineup.
Yeah. For nutrients, I use GH.
That's right.
I use their trio. I use CalMag. I use Armourcelia, and I think it's pronounced Cool Bloom, KOOL Bloom.
Cool.
Yeah. Here's an Armourcelia bottle right by me. There you go.
Armor SI.
What was that?
Armor SI.
Yeah.
There was a pretty good show on Silica that was on Future Cannabis Project the other day. It's pretty good rundown on it. I liked it.
Hey, I use Nectar of the Gods, so I'm better than everybody.
Is that what
That's
it is?
right. That's right.
Okay, I didn't know. Oh shit, I didn't realize that. Did I break that motherfucker? Oh well.
Works
Should have
too hard.
listened, bitch. Should have listened.
So, oh, we got Jolly in here now too. So Jolly.
Okay.
Still have my 8 million fans.
So I can't help but wonder, there, SoCal. So do you have a nectar sticker on your Peloton?
Dude, I got a banner. I didn't just get a sticker. I'm so cool. I got a banner.
Hell yeah. Let me see it.
Yeah. If you don't use Nectar of the Gods, you're not really growing, man.
Oh shit, I'm not growing. Damn it.
Damn. Me neither.
That's the word on the street, I hear.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What is this shit? Lettuce? Is this the devil's lettuce? Is this what I heard about?
No.
It sounded like a good hybrid fertilizer. I watched the show with that dude on it, and there's a lot of similarities between his grow and mine, but he's got a hybrid. Apparently, it's not like OMRI certified organic. But guarantee get you probably a really nice finished product if you don't have chemical central nervous system issues.
I don't know. I think the best thing you can put in your garden is straight up water.
How
Yeah.
about that worm shit? I like that worm shit.
It's
Love that
okay.
worm shit.
It's okay to
high
use
quality
water
H2O.
SoCal, but you can't push them that way. You gotta push them hard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. You got to give them some steroids.
Isn't
I
that
think
when you
the
drive a
best-
herd of worms through the pasture? You know,
Right.
that's pushing them hard, right? It's like,
Well, here's the thing is I want to know who's out there watering the freaking redwoods and the sequoias because they're sure feeding us some pretty good stuff, man.
It's the else.
yeah,
The
they
elf
go up there and they piss on it and stuff.
Well, for
Is that what
thousands
it
of
is?
years, salmon used to swim up there and die. So like salmon filled that whole, all those creeks going up there, and then they would just die. All the streams.
I think those trees up there, they have their own climate. They make their own atmosphere.
Yeah, they're 100
They
feet
have,
tall.
I mean, they are so tall. If you go up into the top of those canopies up inside there, they have bugs and stuff that you've never even heard of or seen before. You know, it's just, it's a whole nother, it's like another world up in that canopy. So I wouldn't doubt that they kind of create like a kind of environment for themselves. I mean, heck, how long have they been on this world? Long time, you know?
Longer than us.
Yeah, and they're on the coast there, so I'm sure they get a lot of humidity from fog and you know, rolling in off the coast. Hey, so Cal, if you're moving that wire, it makes a lot of noise.
Did it fix it? Did it stop?
Yeah, well, if you're not moving the wire itself, it's got a really good mic on it. It picks up everything. So what is the Hempagigi? What is the name of that one right there?
Name of what?
What is the cultivar that you got right there?
Blue Gelato 41.
Blue Gelato 41.
Yeah, I've never repeated a strain, but I had a seed go bad in one of my last grows, and it was a freebie they gave me, so I threw it in there, and it was 3 weeks less veg, and it did better and bigger than everybody, and it tasted absolutely amazing. So I usually don't repeat anything, but this one I had to, and she hasn't disappointed.
Nice.
Yeah, you see that ball sack I got in there?
The what?
Look, it like the secondary lower node like came up and made a pair of ball sacks in my tent.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Ball sacks. I want a ball sack. Some hairy ones too.
Oh, you got them right there inside your tent.
Let's say typically ball sacks are referring to something different in this context.
Yeah, right. I don't want those ball sacks. Sure. I was trying to say that's one negative about this light. I was afraid I was gonna fucking shock them into hermaphrodation because I had rolling blackouts in my area, and there's a timer that's sit on this light, and whenever it loses power, it wants to reset back to the 12 hours. So if you were in darkness, it fucking clicked on my light. It was stupid. So I might eventually put that on its own separate controller and not rely on that stupid light. They could have thrown a CMOS battery in there and fixed all that problem.
Well, would that just keep the current flowing on it, or steady on it, or what?
No, like I'm just saying if they put like a CMOS, kind of like the same thing they put on a motherboard, it would at least keep a time.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, that's all the CMOS batteries do on the freaking motherboards. It just keep time and date. And they last for God years and years and years and years. So they could have just thrown a 10-cent CMOS battery in there and it would have remembered the time. This actually goes off in 32 minutes. And then my other flower tent comes on. I actually flipped out a flower about 4 days ago. So when I'm trimming this, I should be yielding that like 3 weeks after. But I got a trim bag, so I'll give it a shot. If not, I guess I'll be in trim gel for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's all worth it. That's not jail time.
That's gel time, man. That's carpal tunnel.
That's
I've tried so many scissors. What are you guys using for scissors? I've tried so many different recommendations, but they all fucking suck. I bought $20 scissors, $30 scissors. Ooh, what is that? What is in that ball? Is that dabs?
That's the wasabi it's for you.
Oh, it's wasabi. I thought it was dabs, man. I hit that. Heat up the nail. I got it.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, legit looked like some dab. If it didn't wiggle like that. Dab some wasabi. Damn, that would hurt.
Most tasty.
So I started trimming up that last little cuvee that I had outdoor, and I keep coming across seeds here and there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have no idea what pollinated it because I don't have any males anywhere around right now. I
From your
haven't
neighbor.
for a while.
From your fucking
Maybe.
neighbor.
Maybe it's self itself.
It could have selfed it. Yeah.
That's
coulda
kind of what
selfed
I'm.
itself.
That's kind of what I'm wondering is, did one of the neighbors let something loose and I got a little bit, or
Yeah.
like, or
Everybody
did it
thinks they're
self
growers
itself?
now.
So
Planting
does,
fucking bags.
So
any of your grower or any of your neighbors grow?
I
Quite
got
a
like 3
few.
neighbors that grow.
Yeah, I got quite a few up here that grow.
Mm-hmm. Got an old lady grows it right on her front porch. She comes out, waters it, and everything.
Are they outdoors as well, SoCal?
It's mixed. Yeah, it's about 50-50. There's some places up here that got greenhouses. There's some that are just, wide open
So-
out in the
So
backyard.
it's a definite possibility somebody could have.
It's a definite possibility somebody could have, screwed up and infected the entire area.
You better take a blowtorch to your neighbor's yard.
No.
Nah, it's down now. Well, I took about 60% of it down. I left the rest just to kind of, I'm trying to get cuts from it. So I left some, growing just in case. And, if these cuts root, then I'm just going to see what this thing does, staying outside in the garden bed. We don't freeze here, so I
No.
don't have to worry about the freezing. And if it does get cold, I can just throw like a burlap sack over it for the night.
Yep.
But I kind of like to see what would happen if it does like almost a re-veg naturally outside
Should work.
on paper.
On paper, right? How bad pollinated was the other stuff? Are they bad or just like a few seeds?
No, it's not bad at all. Out of like 2 mason jars that I've trimmed up so far, I've got maybe 8 seeds.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No,
I mean, it's like a few colas that got hit.
well, it seems like it was a lot of the lowers.
Oh wow.
And that could be a stress right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be just like a cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drops down on itself, pollinates itself.
There's one way to find out.
Grow them out.
Grow them out.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
Oh
I'm trying to talk to the wife and they'll let me set things back up and
Back up
get the
indoors.
yeah.
Like I can't ride my motorcycle. Can I at least move the fucking tent back in?
Right. I tried that.
Right?
I tried that.
Yeah. Oh man, that didn't work.
It didn't really work.
Oh man.
No.
Man,
I go on board.
I'd
I'll
buy
go
her
on for you.
something, some nice
But I go for you.
candies, some macadamia, chocolate covered macadamia nuts,
I just
And then
spent
the
like
Snyder's.
flowers.
$3,000 on her birthday for a freaking week in the mountains. I mean, what else does she need?
Holy shit.
Well, that was awful nice.
Yeah.
That should have given you at least a green carpet to go for it,
Right. Well, I told her, I said, look, I haven't spent a penny this year on fishing. I haven't even bought as much as a pack of hooks.
Right?
So I can't ride the bikes. At least let me have one thing,
Yeah,
But-
you'll work it. You'll work
Well,
it.
I'll work it. If I can get the space, I got space to do it. I just gotta get it cleaned out. I got a whole separate outbuilding I can use. It's like 20 by 20, so
Oh, that's way too small.
that's tiny.
That's way too small.
I like the optimism though. I like the optimism.
Yeah.
Right?
Not to ride the bike.
Well, the thing is, like, if I put it out, if I actually get off my ass and clean out that building, then and it's not even my stuff in there. Nothing in that building is mine. So I figure, it's maybe get a dumpster, clean that bitch out, and tell them, hey, I give you 4 years notice that clean it up. But she wouldn't even notice out there. It shouldn't even go out there. So she'd notice.
True.
She wouldn't notice until we got the electric bill.
Right?
So as the wife starts
that's out there?
No, it's the sister-in-laws. Yeah, so she's kind of a hoarder, you know. So my
She won't
brother,
miss it.
my brother's got a 3-car garage and an 8-stall indoor barn, and it's full. So yeah, so this girl's she's got a problem with keeping shit. But if I can get that all cleaned out, then I'm for sure gonna set up in that, and I'll be able to set up. I'll set up tents inside of it. I won't use it as like, you know, a standalone room,
Right.
just because it, you know, if I wanted to do, you know, veg and then flip without moving everything around, that'd be one thing. But you know, I want to keep a couple of males. I want to keep some really good moms, and I want to have a nice veg and flower space.
Hell yeah.
Definitely plenty enough room to do that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a matter of getting it all cleaned up, and you know, right now with my shoulder, I can't lift a bunch of the stuff that's in there. So
That's the thing. You don't want to go and put your health in jeopardy and put it backwards.
right, yeah, they already found 2 more tears when I went for the MRI Sunday. So I don't want to push it, you know.
Wow.
Just like you didn't intuitively sense that you were gonna crash and dial down your writing, so she wants to like be like, "Hey, dude, you got to be aware because you're a pro writer, and if you can't listen to that intuitive voice, like danger, man." My friend almost got killed on a bridge once because he didn't listen to it. And he drank a Red Bull or two, just bam, right into the guardrail. Another friend had a cross section too, man.
He fell off at 10 miles an hour.
No, he was ripping. He had a street bike and stuff, and he's a real rider. And he was just doing too much Red Bull and thinking that he was the shit, and he just went.
Cheers, Green 13. Good to see you, brother.
Yes. Green 13, welcome in.
How you doing, man?
Cheers, Green.
You know, HHG, I was going to mention that a lot of times, because you have such a pristine environment, I mean, it's very nice, very healthy. And sometimes the plants, especially in a full female, you know, setting, they will put little slivers of male pollen in the lower branches to procreate the species because they're loving the environment so much. So it's not unheard of. It's not unheard of for a plant to naturally procreate like that. And I think a lot of people misinterpret that as a bad thing. It's actually a sign of something very good, in my opinion. So, and your tents look beautiful, by the way.
I don't want mine to be that happy then. I want them to be like semi-happy.
He's just talking to his social.
So if a herm plant pollinates a regular plant, is that a feminized seed technically?
Yes.
And really, I
Yes.
knew it.
Yeah.
Knew it.
It's also, I've learned, I experiment with that pollen because it's been my experience. I can't really prove it, but it seems to be a higher grade of pollen. Because again, it happened in a perfect environment. As far as the plant's concerned, I mean, it takes a lot for a female to say, "Hey, I'm going to sacrifice my femininity and grow a small little sliver of a male sac just so you all can have fun," you know, because it's such a pristine environment. And I've seen it on the commercial level. It's kind of a good sign. I mean, you don't want to see a bunch of fucking seeds or, you know what I mean? Then you got a problem. But if you're seeing like a few seeds here and there, that's a good sign you're doing something right, in my humble opinion. Now, this is an area I don't like to talk too much about because people get all fucked. They get their panties in a bind real fast,
Yeah, I might.
you know. So I'm just
Cheap bone cheese.
my experience has been like the biggest mile, for example. That was an S1 self-pollinization. Does the biggest mile harm? No, it doesn't. I mean, I've ran it. Other people have ran it. I mean, it doesn't harm. All right. But it does, like the blue mile. Eagle had one that, or two probably, that harmed. You know, is the S1 expression in there? Yeah, it is. And you just get rid of those. You know, it's the ones that don't that are usually fucking very well put together. So
But an S1 would be taking a clone of that and then dusting it with that herm pollen, right? That would be an S1. And then, but if it dusts itself, then it has like a different kind of effect to the seeds, and they're more likely to herm out.
no, you're going to have that expression within the genome. All right, so that you're going to find a pheno that will probably express that way. But again, the environment needs to be pristine, all right, to duplicate that type of an effort. So it's not really genetic; it's more environmental. All right, you see what I mean? Because you can take a plant that's never harmed in its life, and all of a sudden it's in a pristine environment. All of a sudden you see 2 or 3 seeds, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Right? There's no males in here. It's a tent. It's sealed. What have you? So it's a natural expression of things are good. Now I've taken that S1 pollen and pollinated other plants, and that's when you have to start being careful because, yeah, they're feminized seeds, but you want to watch and you definitely want to be looking to see if there's any herm expression. And normally I cut it off, or if it keeps coming, then I just get rid of it and mark it as that pheno's not the one to keep. But it's
So if you cut a dude's nuts off, he's technically not a dude anymore. You're like, yeah, it's not. Don't look.
well, I notice his voice gets higher, and I kind of, when it comes to the choir, we're looking for that. So I don't know. This is just me fucking around. So I take a lot of heat for this kind of shit. But I've also noticed, like this one plant I'm smoking right now, it's the hog crossed with the blue diesel. Oh, and it had a small herm expression in the beginning, and I just cut it off, and I haven't nothing since then. And my God, this is just awesome shit, right? So I'm going to clone it. I'm going to grow it again to see if that shows up again, or was it just the environment? You see what I mean? Because my bud chamber is dialed in. I've had 2 years to really fine tune the environment, and so it's pretty pristine. And so it's not uncommon, but that's when I have fun. Like, oh, okay, I'll take one little like flat sliver. They're not really flowers. They're like little
Bananas.
Yeah. And then you just take it and with a tweezer and you set it on another bud. And you end up with 50 seeds. And you're like, whoa, how the fuck did that happen? And
a regular seed pollinates a herm plant. Will that express more herm, or will that strengthen the whole code so it's less stress? Herming?
If you're pollinating it with something that doesn't, barely ever has tendency to herm, I would say you're strengthening it. So.
I don't know. Okay.
I have a strain. It's called Danger Zone, and it's a regular male that crossed with 3 plants that hermed in the last couple of weeks. But the high is awesome, and it still developed bud without getting the dust on the bud and ruining it.
Again, this is not approved practices, but I got to tell you, the stuff that I've gotten out of these little experiments, I really like, or I wouldn't keep doing it. You see what I mean? So
I bet you keep doing it.
I will.
With your tweezers and your little. Penis for everybody.
So the way I think of it going into this with trying to make a new cross with something, if I don't feel confident with the male selection that I have, or the male, I guess, expressions that I have, then if I do have a killer female, I'll just give two different examples. Like Vortex, I'm pretty confident that I can find, those are regular seeds. I can find a male through those seeds that, is likely to be prosperous. Versus something like, let's say, an NL times Afghani, where I'm kind of in the dark with what those males are going to do.
Exactly.
But off palette, I know what I'm looking for in the palette. In Afghani, or basically an NL 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Kind of.
It's hard to tell what a male version of the female bud is going to be. But if you're getting an S, like little sliver nanner off a fucking nice nug that's just laden in crystals, you're like, well, I know what this gene is showing. Let's see what it'll do with this one. And I don't know. You don't want to, you got to be careful. I always try to warn people to, sorry, Eagle, that sometimes you're going to see a male expression. I don't even like the name hermaphrodite. Really is a species, I think, within itself. The male expression happens in humans. It can go, the other way happens as well. Males can go female, right? If you're growing it, let's say you're growing 100% males, right?
But we have to have a word for it, bro. We can't keep changing words. We have to have a word for it.
I don't, dude, this, again, I'm just explaining some of my own personal experience, and that's why, call me crazy, whatever.
So with the effects and the provenness of Vortex, I would feel confident in picking a male out of them. And then, like, say with that NL Afghani, I'm going to have to go on palate taste with the female. And let's say I have another plant, and this would be from female or feminized seed stock. It could be grapefruit kush. Grapefruit kush. Also, I don't. Anything else other than terpene that's like awesome and I like is a good thing, because I'm looking for those off of memory too.
Now, let's say your Vortex gives a little nanner, right? Tell me you don't want to play with that. See what I mean?
Well, it's because I'm trying to do line breed the Vortex specifically. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
To do that, I want brothers and sisters to bang it out.
Sorry, Chicha B. If you find, just blame Bingus.
So if I find something that I feel like reminded me of the one time I had something called NL3, which, based on the time I had it, people say it's like a statistic impossibility, because I'm too young and it's too old of a strain. But anyways, I don't think the people that, that it came through would even know that, like, unique or that, random or obscure of a strain. Even if they did know Northern Light, the only number that they might know associated with it would be like Northern Lights 5. If someone tells you they got Northern Lights, they're never really associating a number behind it. It's just Northern Lights. So for someone to be like, oh, this is different. This is Northern Lights 3. Okay.
Now, Eagle, didn't you have one of the seed creators on? I wish I could remember his name. That actually talked about his S1 creations, kind of going down the same rabbit hole that I'm talking about right
recently?
now. In the last year.
Was it Two Dogs?
I believe it was.
Yeah. Because he was saying too, like, geez, it's nice to know what the male pollen bud will look like. And
I missed what you said. Who was it?
Two Dog Seeds. I appreciated the way he put it too, without taking, the male, female out of it, with the donor and receiver, broke it down to donor and receiver. I thought that was good.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, good one. There you go, Green 13, from the experts. I'm just a dude in a fucking growing in a bedroom.
I'm just a dude in a box in Zoom.
Yeah. But I gotta tell you, I've had some really good ones. I got a couple that are coming up too that I'm like, all right. So it keeps me going, man. That's why I get up early and try to do my exercising early. And then I start thinking I'm young and can stay up for the wormhole. But I just can't make it sometimes, man.
WEedNerdWorld.
I know it's confusing everybody. Yeah,
It's funny because the end of Smiley's show on Monday, he's like, so anyway, gonna see you on WEedNerdWorld tonight. Looking forward to WEedNerdWorld. Oh yeah. Anyway, see you tonight. Wormhole, boom. It's like he does it every time. Like just when he's finished, he's like, wormhole later. It's funny.
Appreciate that stuff. Yeah, everybody's still a little confused, but I gotta tell you, Bingus, me and Smiley were talking before the show. We were like, "Where's Bingus then?" So when you're not here, you're very much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Bingus and Johnny been missing the last few days, huh? Johnny having problems on the spot. Sorry, Bingus.
I just try to get up in the morning and do my little live longer routine. I get on a bike and I do a few things to physically keep my legs going, and then, but that was taking up too much of my day in the garden, so I started getting up earlier. And then the end part kind of my favorite
Fizzles
part.
Out.
I kind of had to give up my Snickers bar, the wormhole, basically.
Shit, man, I'm not looking forward to that because mine's not a Snickers bar. It's like 12 Snickers bars.
Sure. So today, man, I said, fuck it, I'm taking a nap. Plus, you have those times in the garden where you worked really hard and you're, dude, are you kidding me? There's nothing to do. I'm taking a fucking nap.
If there's nothing to do, I go visit. I need to go look at them.
Yeah. Always. I can see that, especially in your nice little cabinet. Well
The
done,
white
man.
out.
I like it. Very nice, by the way.
Man, yours is nice too. Come on, you got lots of space, lots of fucking.
I am very grateful for what I have right now. It's kind of just have to maintain that, try not to get, what is it? Sometimes I have a champagne appetite with a beer pocketbook. So you have to kind of.
I know what you mean.
I'm gonna say I've got to that age where I'm just gonna wait for the champagne though. I ain't gonna drink the beer because otherwise I'm just gonna take the beer back broken in a few days and have to buy the champagne anyway. So I know what you're saying, but like when it comes to grow room, we stress the fuck out of our equipment, man.
The guy was asking me, he goes, why is it so bright? I go, well, I have 500 watt LEDs in a 10 by 10. That's why. He's like, fuck. I'm like, yeah, it's bright, man. Put on some sunglasses. I'm kind of used to it. I don't even wear sunglasses in my garden. But I noticed that I started getting a tan on my fucking forehead, like, especially if I'm trimming in one spot and I'm just like really close to the light. I'm like, whoa, getting a sunburn in. Anyway,
I've noticed that under the LEDs too, man. That shit makes your skin hot, real hot.
It,
under some
it
of
can
them,
heat you right up. They keep getting better though, Eagle. I mean, these new ones I put up, they're lighter weight, they're more efficient, they're better. The light configuration somehow makes it better. Just, I'm wondering where, like next year, where we're going to be. I mean, or the year after that. I mean, fuck.
I was talking to the guy from Invisible Sun, and it's actually already become a joke at the bleeding edge. At the bleeding edge, where we're like, there's this new chip out, and it's real easy to be doing 3.06, like real easy. And so that's already too much. You can't, it's just, the light's barely on. Like, if you try and lay down some wattage with that kind of efficiency, you just burn your plants. So yeah, it's already got crazy. I mean, obviously the real, it's what we want, but then soon we're going to be adding heat, and then we've lost. The game's over.
Well, it used to be that you could never get too much light. Now you actually can get too much light. The plants will let you know too. But again, that's where I like to keep, like, I'll just keep a distance, and
wish I could.
That pennant,
You gotta
exactly.
run your rooms at 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 90% humidity with 2,800 parts per million CO2.
Yeah.
Jurassic
after
Park.
After 1,500 parts CO2, the gap then just goes to like 3K or something before there's another I did discover this run though, there's quite a big difference between 12 and 1,500 when you really want to put light down.
Hey, mate. I'm going to get some sleep for work tomorrow, but I appreciate you having me on here.
Good to see you.
See you, chat.
Take care.
Appreciate you, Frosty.
Nice to see
Eagle. Sorry.
Take care, brother. So I'm kind of curious, not just we talk about the intensities of these lights, but it's good for the plants, but how good is it for us, in per se? These far reds, I believe they're terrible for us. Blue spectrum is bad for us as well, not just bad for our eyes, it's bad for our skin, it's bad for our psyche. So with that being said, with how much other stuff are they adding that we're not necessarily picking up, and they're having direct effect on us working under these lights for a period of time?
It's the UV ones that are dangerous, Eagle, not the IR.
So far, I haven't had any
negative
negative effects.
It seems to be the IR that I can feel, like under these Mars panels and whatnot. Not to call out any brand, but that seems to be what I can feel under the light most intensely.
Now the Mars, I took them down because it was hurting my eyes. Okay, my Spider Farmer, my HLG don't hurt my eyes. Okay, at all. The Mars hurt my eyes. And I immediately took it down. So just saying, that's one of the reasons I took my Mars down. Not to throw a bunch of shit at Mars, but the plants seem to like them very well. But in my veg area, I had one, and I'm right here, right? So I was like, what the fuck? And it was that light. It was bothering my eyes. So I have it. Still have it. It's almost brand new.
I had the same thing with the last run I did indoor was with Mars, and I had to wear glasses. Otherwise, I'd walk out there and everything was blurry and you couldn't see and your eyes just hurt.
The Spider Farmer, I really like the new configuration. HLG is always top notch. You got to be careful. I mean, You know,
I put a CFL bulb in my thing when I did it indoors like that, and I would turn off the LED lights, and then work and do this stuff with the CFL bulb on, and then turn it back on. You know, when I was out of the tent and not looking at it and stuff.
cool.
So I actually think Eagle's right. It's the red ones you can feel, but I think that there's actually far red light therapy. I actually think far red light is good for you. Can't remember why. Might be something to do with SAD, but I actually think it's more than that.
Well, there's
Sorry, Eagle.
fourth phase of water. The infrared helps with circulation and shit like that.
Now,
That's right.
I do know a guy that I watched one of his videos that was claiming that you can increase your testosterone levels by hanging upside down and exposing your genitals to red LED lights. So
Come on.
you got that out there as well. You know, he's in
That's
one of those
sweet.
tilt tables with this light glare. He didn't show the good part, but I was like,
Well, welcome to Weed Nerd World. That's all
dude, I
right
mean,
in our
just-
wheelhouse.
Why
So-
do you got to be upside down during that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
put the light on the floor.
well, I guess you could do that, right? But you want full exposure, I guess.
Or you
You
can
don't want-
you could rig
You
up
want-
some-
Is it important that
you want
there's
the
no
elephant trumpeting. You
blood
want the
left
elephant
in your
trumpeting.
sack when it's being radiated?
Funny shit.
Yeah, but the blues, are you saying that's like an office light, Eagle? So that veg is bad for our health
guys.
or our psyche?
I'm not talking about green light.
Because it's not very photosynthetically active.
Oh.
But it is a bit, but not very.
Never mind.
Well,
I thought the sun was green. You guys, come on. You guys got to bring me down to earth sometimes.
Sorry.
Hate blue pill. Counterbalance with the blue.
I'm all about green pills. Green lights, green pills.
Green finger.
I agree. Get your green on.
Green 13.
So if you could pull up right now, follow your cannabis stream anywhere, where would you go? That is the question for the band. Where would you go? Where
What was
is
it?
your cannabis?
Say it
Where
again.
is you? If you could pull up right now, go anywhere to follow your cannabis stream, where would it be? Where would the first stop in your journey be?
Nepal.
That is
Look.
the question.
If I could go anywhere, dude, I'm missing the question somehow here, Eagle.
If you could go anywhere and start on your, what would be the next stop of your cannabis journey if you could go anywhere right now?
I go,
would
I
you
go,
go
I go,
there?
I go visit Eagle. If I
Would you go
go-
to Northern Cali? Would you go
Nah,
to
fuck that. I go to Michigan, man.
go to
Go
Oklahoma?
Michigan, and I'd hit Eagle, and I hit Smiley, and all the other fucking Michigan growers out there. How are you? Wherever I'd go all over the hand, wherever, because I've learned because of your channel, Michigan has a lot of fucking great growers. I know AAP, another guy I know out in Michigan. So so there's my answer. Sorry. Next.
It's a great question. It's an easy question. Like, I don't need to go to Amsterdam. It's only over there. I would go to Michigan. It's where the bros are. It's where it's where the family's at. Like, there's a stop where I can go and cover so many stops. You know what I mean? It's like, it would be my next journey and the next, because yeah.
I'm
So,
still,
yeah,
I'm thinking
I'll
about
go
doing
Cali
it.
after that. I'll go Cali after that. But yeah,
I agree. I go to Michigan too. Fuck yeah.
No, my answer is similar to Smiley's. I wouldn't go nowhere besides 5 blocks away where there's a house for sale and the bank or wherever I gotta go to make it final. It's a walking distance, the next place in my cannabis journey.
Red Pill, you're happy where you're at.
Yeah, well, generally happy where I'm at, but like when this question, pertaining to this question, I feel like to further my cannabis journey, I don't have to go anywhere else in the world.
Wouldn't it be great to have like the Michigan Cannabis Mall, right? And you go down the mall and you got Smiley's Garden, you got Eagle's Garden, you got Chicha B, and whoever else is from Michigan out there. I can't think of something. But wouldn't that be, dude, let's go to the fucking mall, man. I mean, that's hanging out at the mall all fucking day. And think about it, you'd have to have a storefront, but in the back, we have the grow, right? And this is how I do it, right? And this is what the results are. Fuck, that'd be amazing. And prospects.
Nepalese highs, man. The cerebral.
Way too fucking straightforward, dude. For some reason, we can't just do things that are straightforward like that.
What's up, Mark?
Excuse me.
What's up, Modern?
Cheers, man.
Where's Modern? What are you talking about?
Popped out, though.
Popped in and out.
He was up there. He jumped out.
Yesterday morning, Eagle kept cancelling his own show.
What? No. Was it referring to my fuck ups in the
Yeah.
take-up? Yeah.
Yeah. Were you trying to get to number 500 real quick?
I guess.
Shit,
They were
what
all
number is it,
saying
man?
498. 498 tonight. A lot of episodes. No, when you fire this thing up, it's even worse on a phone. Zoom, well, it's not Zoom. It's when you go live. I don't know if it does it on anybody else's end, but it does it on mine. So when you go live on YouTube, it pops up a box like it's like a fucking warning. Warning, you're live. Do you want to stay in the meeting or leave? And it's like a panic button. And like, so if you hit X, it fucking kills the meeting. It doesn't just kill the box. It kills the meeting on my end. If you hit, leave meeting, obviously leave meeting, and only got it, keeps you there. So for some reasons, I tried to X the box and fucking killed it once. The stupidity accidentally hit leave on the other one. No, it's stupid. I wish I could just click a box. Do not see this again. Goodbye. But no, it's every fucking time.
420 somewhere.
Holy
Hey,
shit.
man, it's technical difficulties are kind of like my middle name.
So it's
I'd like-
Bingus technical difficulties 503.
Exactly.
I wish I had the patience. I'd fucking, between the bloopers in the beginning, during the show, and during shout outs, there would be a nice blooper reel that somebody could put together there. I'm sure.
Bing bong. It's time for some biggest. Yeah, man.
It's actually amazing how many shows start. If you think of like Adam Dunn, GML, they all start with people going, I think we're live. Are we live? Chat? No, chat says there's no sound, man. Welcome to the Adam Dunn Show. 15 minutes in, no sound. Oh shit, we'll do it all again. You know, it's weird. It's like, come on.
I think they do that on purpose.
Dude, let's say you really got it
Really
down.
good ideas.
The best way to start would be to just start.
Yeah. Nah, we're live. Only joking.
Gotcha. You know, one of those kind of deals. So
Well, I've done a few episodes where like the first 5 minutes were like muted. They're like, you're muted, dude. You're muted. And let's keep on going.
that's lip reading practice. That's a service. Practice your lip reading.
You know, fucking, I think Subcool was one of the best ones who fired that shit up live. There was times when he would fire up his lives, not just like on YouTube, but on Instagram as well. He'd just like fucking fire it up and like let the music play and fucking he wouldn't even fucking hit the mic until like there was like 30 or 40 fucking people in there. He'd just let the music play. See him walking around doing shit in the background, pouring tea and shit. He'd come over and like look. I'll sit down when there's 30. Fucking sure shit. He'd sit down when fucking 30 people would get there and start fucking talking.
Something modern.
That was kind of cool. It was just like music rock. Cheers, brother. Cheers, brother.
In order to have crowd management, you actually have to have a crowd. So he's just waiting until that happens. So expectation is humans love to be expected. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to be accountable enough to show up? Are you going to, I mean, he had that personality too, where you're going to toe the fucking line or I'm going to, you know, there's no crying and smoking bombs. I mean, what, you know, it's like that kind of, what are you doing?
There's crying and gravity bongs, Bingus.
Gas mask.
We need a rim shot because, dude, that's a good one, Smiley. Timing was perfect. Dude.
Hey, speaking of the gravity bongs, do you guys ever do the elevator hit thing back in the day, where you like squat down, hyperventilate yourself, then take a hit and stand up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bit the dirt on that one. That's good.
We used to squeeze a person while they're raised up, squeeze them.
Yep.
And they may pass out, actually.
Yep.
I was just gonna say we had people pass out from the fucking hit off the gravity bong, so
Yeah.
making sure people had like a catch chair behind them and shit.
Yeah.
For the gas mask was killer. Couldn't get the thing out faster. Fucking.
There's modern.
But you had to hold the hit too. You didn't just
you had to
blow it out. You had to hold it.
count for 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Let it out. Oh shit! You just pass out.
Yeah. It was kind of abusive, but man, we used to get pretty stoned. Dude, we had to do things like that because the weed was. Give me a supercharger, like half a joint, you're finally getting off, you know. Today, I mean, I take a bong rip and I'm like, whoa. This, I keep thinking back, if I could have grew this back then, oh, shit.
Don't worry about back then. That's over, bro. We're up here now.
I'm reminiscing.
So as far as like reminiscing, remember the good old shotgun?
Oh, fuck.
It was always always the excuse to get up in that hot girl's face. Man, come here, let me give you a shot.
Yeah, give you a shot.
It's the smallest.
Yeah, it's a weird old deal though, but we did used to do that a bunch. Yeah, fucking hell. Hot knives.
Hey, if you played that shotgun right, man, that was a great night for you.
Every time.
You get that one down and
SoCal, agree.
Operation
Little
Grow.
intense eye contact there.
Operation Grow in the chat room says we had to do it because we were young and bulletproof. Dude, perfect explanation. I didn't think, I thought I was invincible. I didn't think past 40. I really did not, obviously. Yeah. Do they have both screens open where I'm watching the reaction on the YouTube? It's kind of trippy. You say something and then you're looking over there and it's like you're behind, like, what is it? 30 seconds, 60 seconds. It's kind of trippy.
You jerking off to yourself over there, Bingus?
I just like, I get bored easily. So I look for ways to, entertain myself and things like that.
I got a J.
Ooh. Modern. That dry humor. It's not dry, it's hot humor now. It's getting lit. Cheddar Bob's in the chat room. Good. Great to see the chat room. Everybody in the chat. Always excellent to see you. Hawaiian Sustainable, Cheddar Bob, Ace, Boggy, Chicha B had a nice little live the other night I was at. Chad Westport, Aldridge 25, Russian Profit. Not trying to do a shout out, but good to see you all. Seriously. Modern Genetics on the panel. Smoking it, J.
8 days rooted with Clonex, Chad. Yeah.
Do you do a
8
lot
days
of clone
in the cup?
Do you do root cubes or what do you do, Green?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I do. I use an aero cloner, but I've also got some cubes next to it at the moment as well. So, the weirdest, craziest thing plants do is grow roots out of. I mean, for me, it's fascinating. It's like the worm bin. I just love it. So, the aero cloner's as cool as shit. I've been running it water only, but what happens is it takes so long to kick roots that they're actually quite pissed off. No, very pissed off by then. And so it actually takes as long to get them back. So you've got that 3-week period to root them, then like another 3 weeks before they come a plant again. So whilst it's idyllic, it's not practical. So I went with the devil just to try it out. And you wouldn't think Chad was the devil, but yeah, there you go. No. So I did a little Clonex dip.
I'm good. I just fucking scored a terrarium. I think I'm gonna try using some root riot cubes in the terrarium.
Robert's doing a good job. Man. That's kind of looks like what I do right there. What Robert's showing you. I actually have that cube thing. I don't use it. I use a different one. But yeah, it looks just like my. Yeah.
What's the terrarium deal? Just UV stuff.
Well,
very blue.
I'll go get it. It's actually a giant bowl.
Nice.
With just a cork lid to it that I could probably fit well, I could get 12 to 16 clones. I'll go grab it.
Right.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You guys ever see that one that's been around for 4 decades or whatever it is? The terrarium, some old guy did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I use a little dome tray.
I wanted to know if those are real. That's a real thing? It's not, no.
Terrarium? Yeah.
Like you said, that old man that's got that giant, like I don't know what it is, like a 10-gallon glass jug.
Yeah.
And it's been sealed, like you said, for like what, 30 years?
Time. It's been sealed for like 20 years or something.
I'll pick it up.
Similar, very similar. I've been doing it this way since the beginning. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Okay, cool. Just
Yeah.
like a big jar, man.
Yeah, it's got this like, so it's got the cork lid, which I could easily, drop in some clones. Big old lid there. And then just drop, this on and let that moisture and everything, let the light through, keep them all moist. And then when I need to vet smear, I always just, drop the cork to the side or daily open it up until it gets some roots. But I don't know. Something tells me that will be a good little cloner there.
And you can
There's
just
a
kind
girl-
of stick it in a corner somewhere. That's the other thing I like to do is just put it off to the side where it's not getting that direct light and it stays more humid down lower. And yeah,
That's good. Keep
that's a
them
good
breathing and drinking through the leaves through that cloning process.
We'll have to see an update on the new cloning methodology that Eagle uses.
I'm trying out that sand thing that Johnny's been talking about right now.
How's that work? Is that working?
Well, right now I have the cuts are sitting in the cloning solution and aloe mix, and tomorrow I'm gonna put them in some little cups of sand and see what happens.
So I've done a similar thing here. I just wanted to not use sand. So if you look at the second, not that, it's my aero cloner, but this one I pick it up, it's in a tray, and the tray's full of, I just filled the tray full of compost. So it's Johnny Tech, but I'm just using compost. And as soon as I see them come through, I'll probably yank them out anyway. But it's just to have that base to be able to water into something without it just being, the cubes just getting saturated. So we'll try it. Basically, I had the mother plants and I was about to chuck them in the compost heap. So I was like, let me just make a few more. It seemed like they had not completed their mission.
It's always good to have more than not enough to pull from.
Yeah.
Sometimes those little squatty, ugly ones turn out to be beautiful too.
Well, that's the deal. That's exactly right, Vingus. It's like when you get to clones and you've cut those beautiful ones and you're like, that's the king. And then that shitty little one you cut last has fucking roots like, you're like, well, that was obviously highly hormonal.
Well, yeah, what's the science there? It was like,
yeah. Maybe because they're shorter, newer, I don't know. So they're really vigorous because
they
they're
got
still
something to prove.
spurting.
They got something to prove. It's like, fuck you guys. You think you're bigger. You think you're taller. You're going to outperform me? No. No.
Yeah.
Talk to any short person that you have ever met.
See, I've always used
What?
Nothing. I'm sorry, SoCal. Go ahead.
Was that Ripto?
I am a short person.
Well, good for you, dude. I love short. I wish I was short. I really did.
I'm okay with short people as well, but I'm quite tall. But you shorties, you're all right.
Let me tell you something that you might not really think. Maybe you guys don't take it for granted, but the number one shitty thing about being short is when you're in a mass crowd of people, all you're looking at is back and shoulder blade. You can't see over shit. So if anything pops off, you can't even be like, hey, where am I going to go for the nearest exit? Which way do I go? I don't know. I'm going to get trampled by a whole bunch of human beings.
What I learned is you put your hand in mommy's pocket and then you just run. Because every girl is just like, okay, that's my kid. And you just let you run.
Yeah,
that's how I get away every time I need to get away.
Just hug the next hottest MILF and be like, mommy.
Yeah, mommy. And you stick your hand in her pocket and just run. Make her your mom.
Okay, SoCal?
Yes.
Do you remember your thought that I rudely interrupted?
Oh yeah, no, I was talking. We are talking about clones, and I was going to say that I've always had good success with like Clone X and the rooting plugs. And the last 3 times I've taken clones, I've done it the exact same way. I cut it off the plant. I slice off a nice angle at the bottom of the cut, kind of score it up a little bit, dip it in the rooting gel, and straight into the root plug. Had great success the last 3 times. Not one of my cuts is taken in that method. So I'm wondering if this Sandtech thing will work, because I don't know if it's an environmental issue that I'm having,
Yeah.
or some bad plugs, or what the hell's going on. But
I was having issues. It was heat. It was
Yeah.
mostly
Heat and dry.
Yeah, it plus if you're over, like, it gets hot and then you notice you don't really realize that it's hot, but then if you happen to spray too much because they're drying out, right? Then you get over water and then you just boil the fuckers and they don't do well. I had the same issue recently, and my tray had longer little cup things, right? So I shortened those up so that it fits perfectly the cube, instead of having an airspace beneath it, right? That can create a hot spot. You see what I mean? And that really improved my cloning. But here's the thing, too. I've been doing it ever since the beginning, and it's only recently that, and I think it's because of the summer we had, which was extra hot here in Oregon. It kind of got me down this path of overheating them. But I'm back on track now that we have the beautiful 40-degree weather again. It's shitty outdoors, but great to grow inside.
What's up, Bob? Yeah, the Johnny Tech, what it's doing is it's just providing a mat. Like I think Smiley's got some like wet mats. That's all you're making, really. It's just like it's a safety net. So when it gets too hot, it's got something it can drink from. It's just a,
Yeah, he has a heat problem
reservoir
there
type
too.
deal.
He has a heat
Yeah.
problem too. Smiley with the aloe vera. That was intriguing to me. And so you just take it, put it right in the aloe vera, and then put it in the pot, right?
No, I cheat a little bit because I have the aloe vera powder. So initially I mix up the initial solution with just a touch of the aloe vera powder and water, and they sit in like a solo cup with an inch of that overnight. And then
Right.
yeah, and then I dip them then I take a fawn or whatever, the leaf from the aloe vera plant. I'll take a chunk of that, just because you just need enough to dip the stem into, and then I'll dip the stem into that. You kind of rub it around a little bit, twist it around or whatever in there, and then I dip it in a solution of wettable sulfur, and it's a touch of maxi crop, but it's potassium source basically to kind of balance out any phytotoxicity from the sulfur. But I dip them all, and then I plug them, and then I put them in the dome, and leave the vents closed for the first 3 days, and then after that you start cracking them slowly until by the first week you're fully open. You can sometimes even take the cover off depending on what the humidity is in your room at that point. But like, biggest things I've noticed with having success is having a healthy mom and having proper humidity control over the rooting process. So.
Cherry Bob, what's up, buddy?
Top of the morning to all of you. Nice to see you all, as usual.
The great thing about the aerocloner is it constantly makes humidity. So there's never a problem. You don't need a dome at all. Like, it gives you a dome, but the thing is just spraying water out of itself the whole time. So it's pretty neat.
No, they're cool. I've ran some of those, like a few different styles of those. The bucket with the sprayers going up, and I had a different one with an air pump where it would just be pumping through an air stone in the bottom of them and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I didn't seem to get, to me, it was a lot of hassle trying to keep the water cool
Yes.
and changing it out. And then with these domes, I don't know, man. Once I plug them, they pretty much are fucking hassle free.
Foolproof.
And you just check them, you know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
So in the
Yeah. I'm running side by side, dude, because there's no one answer. Sorry, Bob.
no worries. In the winter time, I can run my easy cloner and I get clones in like 10 days, you know, no problem. In the summertime, every single one of my clones gets that hollow, soft, rotten stem because the water's just, I can't keep the water cool enough.
Yeah.
Even putting like, you know, ice bottles in there and ice packs, it sucks. So I actually, in the summertime, I run the Oasis cubes. Anyone's familiar with those? They're not really rock wool, but
Like
they're
green stuff, like you put dried flowers in.
yeah, basically like that. And those rock in the summertime, you know, and they hold the moisture really really well. So yeah.
Seeing those arrow cloners, I've almost seen better luck going a sterile route versus trying to do anything different.
Definitely.
The best tech I've seen with people using arrow cloners, other than throwing like a little, you know, like, I don't know what those are, little 500 milliliter, little liter bottles, mini liter bottles. You know, you can freeze those, put them there. Unless if you're on top of things, you know, if you're not.
You just use the camping things, dude. The camping, like for your.
Yeah. If you're not, well, I'm saying it's around the exchanging. You know, it's gonna thaw out, become room temperature. So as long as you're not diddy daddling all day long, you know, you're gonna.
That's all I do is diddle dally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anywho, the
And
next
play
best
golf.
tech for the arrow cloner.
That's daddle diddling.
Is using a timer. You don't have to run them 24/7 all the damn time. That's
You're
just
right.
heating up the water.
But listen, let me just jump in before you do this, because yeah, you can turn it on and off. But I've actually had much better luck running it warm. I've done the bottles thing, keeping it cool, takes much longer. All I've just done in the last run was I changed the water twice after 3 days, and then after 6 days, and then on day 8, I put them all in fucking solo cups. So it's so damn quick. It probably was considerably warmer than I've ever run it. I didn't put any fucking effort into keeping it cool, and then just bleached it at the end. Cleaned it out, bleached it, no scrubbing, just fucking wiped it, and then just done. Now it's back running again. So because I'm turning it over so quick, the algae hasn't got time to form, and like it was so much better than trying to keep the air in at 20 degrees, but keep the heads warm and all the bollocks to that. So we'll see, but it was much quicker to run and gun it.
You know, every time we bring up cloning, because it's going to be the next way I do things, is air layering.
I mean, you keep bringing this up, but it isn't very practical. It's cool if you want to do a few clones.
Why don't you just tombstone me? Why not? Everything.
I know you want to come from the left field.
You're like, oh, that's a good philosophy, but it'll never work in practice.
I mean, it will work in practice, but
let's say to scale, to scale, it probably won't work. Practicality, yeah, of course it works.
You're going to take one good plant-sized branch, and you're basically going to want to plant.
Brothers, what I'm talking about is when you have to do mass pheno hunts, and you're not going to take 15 clones of every single fucking seedling you got. Just do one for one seedling, one air layer clone.
Dude, do you know how hard it would be to air layer a tiny little clone?
You can get a cube.
It's fucking 3 or 4 a.m. right now. Okay.
Which is it? 3 or 4?
Sounds cool, right?
What are you talking about, dude? It's not even 2 yet.
Only
In theory.
140.
I'm gonna need another dab.
You
guys
you
are
left coasters.
Cheddar Bob, you are driving me to dab. You know that?
Man, the
I-
bars aren't even
good.
closed yet. So what's
Good.
your excuse
I've
now?
done my job is completed.
Your mission. Mission complete.
You
I'm
all you
signing
guys are
off.
naysayers.
See you later, folks. I'm out.
To the Bob.
No.
Not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
What you're supposed to be here for?
Lucky I'm coming on camera for a dab.
Are you?
My pretty face.
I always enjoy seeing your
That's
bright,
okay.
shining face.
Well, guys, I was successful. I did buy a pimp suit. Now I cheaped out. Because, like I said, I'm kind of tight wadded right now because I want to buy a house. I could have
Did
got
you
an
guys
easy-
see my power go up and come back on?
So
No.
Is that what happened?
I was too
Yeah.
self-absorbed. Eagle, I was too self-absorbed
Yeah.
in the moment.
What the fuck?
That was
man?
Red Pill drawing the power from everyone to take that dab at, you know.
I think
3.
another Michigan grower turned on his lights. And it was just one too many.
Yeah, it's like the $1 million red button game. Have you guys seen that movie? You
Yeah,
press
my
the
lights
button,
are
you get $1
heating
million
up again behind
if
me.
someone
See it
dies.
fire back up?
I'll have to rewind it.
Hey guys, I gotta jump out, man. It is that time for me. I really know it's a stacked panel right now.
I'm right behind Smiley. Thanks, Smiley. I didn't want to just be the interrupter, but I do have to get to bed. Dude, great panel. A lot of fun tonight. Thanks, guys.
see you,
Bye,
Vegas.
Bye,
See you,
Smiley.
Vegas.
See you, Smiley.
Cheers,
I
guys.
miss your faces.
Cheers.
Good to see
Smiling.
you all.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
Take care, man.
Hey, so what was going on the other day with the 14-hour show? That was awesome.
I don't know what happened.
The chat
That's
didn't want us
enjoy-
to shut down.
That was the least I could do. You're welcome.
They didn't want us to shut down, so we just kept going. There was like 60 people in chat, so we were like, you know what? New people just kept coming on and just kept rolling.
Yeah, I
Hanging
jumped
with
on
the-
for a few minutes.
Hanging with the
It's like-
family.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise. It was like, you know, the first time I saw you, Eagle, was I think your 24-hour show last Christmas, I think, maybe last New Year. So you're
There was
coming
a
up on
few.
your
There was 420. There was Halloween. I think no Halloween we didn't go for 24, but we went pretty long for Halloween.
I think it was the New Year's show.
Thanksgiving was a 24. Christmas was a 24. I skipped New Year's, but
there's
I think
Christmas.
we had a show, but it wasn't no 24.
Oh, we would have done 25. We would have done 24 again, but somebody shut us down. So
That was the sound of 14 chihuahuas all barking at once. That was a unified bark.
He sounded like a whole dog, didn't he? It was like, shit, he's got a dog. Oh, no. It's him.
It did. It sounded like the Voltron of chihuahuas.
The funny thing is that got my dogs out in the yard like barking in the freaking wind. They heard that and took off out the door.
So I got about 10 days left on this bed behind me, the cherry pie. I just harvested a bunch of tops up at the other grow, and man, like, so my buddy works right next to his house, and when he walks out of his business, after I cut everything down, he was like, dude, I could smell that at my business from the house. And the house is probably like 150 yards away from the metalwork building. And he was like, what the fuck is going on? This is ridiculous. He was almost like, I don't know if you can grow that again. That smells so it's so strong. And it's like this like complex. So there's like other businesses. There's actually like a little church in the front, you know, so they can smell it too. Might have to start a new religion.
What's up, Meow Flower?
Cheers.
Good morning.
Top of the morning to you.
Terps of the morning to you.
Terps of the morning.
Love that phrase. How are you, my friend? How are things there? What
All
are you
good.
smoking on?
I'm smoking on some sour garlic cookies.
Sounds good.
Oh, tasty. Real good,
It's
actually.
Wetty Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks pretty amazing. Sadly, it was the taste of garlic, but looks good. Yeah.
It's on the sour side though.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, every time I had a garlic strain, it's always been onion, even though it's not.
It's yeah. I call it savory.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
savory. And with that little bit of cookies on the end of it, it's yeah, it's completely savory as far as I'm concerned. But this is sour.
Most Americans haven't learned about savory yet.
But as you were saying the other day, like when you smoke hash, the high off it's so clean and everything, and the effect, the entourage of it is, yeah, it's probably a half an hour, 40 minutes tops, but BHO is over an hour, way over an hour, like it affects. So there's something to be, you know what I mean? If you're kind of
I gotta disagree with that, man. I gotta disagree with that. That's what I love about the hash. There's actually, I call it the period of like a hash coma from the time I fucking make that hash, from the time that I run out of that hash. It's just kind of a fucking gray area from being fucking snockered on fucking hash all the time. Hash in the joint,
yeah, okay.
man.
Okay,
4 to
so
6 hours could get you hash right, I would think, easy.
yeah, most hash
Body
that we
bug.
would know coming to us would have had like some curing process to it. Yeah. And it would have had a hanging time. Now we're kind of getting it kind of straight off the press. Within a couple of days, you have it smoked. You know, it doesn't get any age and any cure. You know, it doesn't have it. Like, you know, the hash doesn't get to, you know, we're not getting 2 or 3 year
might have
old
been
hash.
pulled down early, might have been clear, might have been, you know,
Yeah.
45 days, probably.
There's all that. So like, unless you're doing single source yourself, you know what you're pulling, you know, you can wait the time. Yeah, that's a different, when we're talking about commercial end of it, it's in and out. There's nobody really doing the high end stuff yet that's coming out with a 2-year cure, because the price would be, what price would you put on it? And trying to sell it to somebody, you know,
Let it cure on the shelf.
yeah, but you want to then share that just with your friends. You know, you want to turn somebody on to a nice, okay, here's something that's sitting around and yeah, been looked after in the proper conditions as well. So that's where the hash thing is. Yeah, I think we used to get a lot of the hash, say from Morocco, and it actually had probably sat for maybe, you know, 6 months before it got pressed up into any bars or anything. So
Yeah, one of my
Pure
favorite
process,
parts of all of the Strain Hunters episodes is the Morocco episode, and there's a portion of it where they go to basically a dry room. It's so dope. They got like 20 different bundles of all different. Basically, someone went through and, you know, rounded up all the phenotypes, and they got like some gold budded ones and one bundle, a red budded one, green budded ones. It's all organized. They're all drying in big. You know, it looks awesome. But
like
where was I going to go
they
before that?
they
Oh,
crop from September to November to Christmas. You know what I mean? They're constantly, once this kind of cold spell comes in, they're going with it. And it's not like 10 years ago, there ain't no soap bar coming out of Morocco anymore. You know?
No.
That's what we would call like this complete
Soap
dirt.
bar,
Like.
yeah.
So that's gone. So it's all, you know, commercial end. It's all strain specific names and cultivars. And they lost all the original, really. You know?
We were actually getting quite a lot of that Pakistani hash and Lebanese hash in the late 90s after Desert Storm, when the US was over there. And
amazing how that works.
yeah. Strange how the opioid.
This is how I got to smoke hash. Was unfortunately there's the troubles out in Palestine, and so Irish soldier would have ended up going out there for UN service, and they decided, you know what I mean, if you can hand over like a little bit of bread and some rations to, you know what I mean, and swap directly for hash. There was no trading of money at this stage, you know, because they wanted food. They were, and
money doesn't do them any good. They can't.
The first ones I remember, they were bought with food, with rations, that the boys swapped their rations and got like a little block of hash. You know, I'm talking about back in the early, before anybody kind of done it, brought back amounts. This was just somebody's own personal little, that they didn't tell their friends. They kept it all quiet until they got back, and then produced this thing at Christmas and went, look what I have. You know?
God bless the Palestinians.
Yeah, but this is how we around the world, isn't it? This is how we get in. It's like most people wouldn't have all them strains back from Afghanistan if people didn't, you know, go to war, because all the, you know, let's say Vader and all them, they brought back pocket full of seeds, like every one of them, any service person. If you were out in the fields in Afghanistan and you were a smoker, I would just be filling beans. Give me them beans, you know.
Yep.
Because that's what we would just see it as, you know what I mean?
Yeah, genocide in the name of protection.
It's like gold
should be off.
That's what it is.
Should be off everyone's list.
In this day and age,
see a field in front of you and it's like, just let your eyes wander, try and find that one you want to go look at, you know, like everyone open pollinated, just like bing, 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 bing. My eyes would just be on stalks.
Yeah, when we were in Morocco and we'd be on the terrace looking down over the fields, and like we would in the morning, we'd be going, see that one in the middle, it's like, and we'd walk down and it could take you 15, 20 minutes. But they couldn't see you, but you'd be shaking, you know what I mean? And they'd be saying, over to the left, and you get into line and just go, keep walking straight, because it's all you're doing is walking where a donkey has actually turned to soil, and you've got this little trough that you just literally walk down. There could be, you might have to dodge a plant every now and again. You might have to pull a male plant while you're going through there and go, okay, here's one, and just bend it over. Not like you're really going to take it out of the field. You're just, you know. But yeah, we used to go for the exotic purple ones because we had never seen, and you just go, oh, look at that cultivar, and you bring it back. Of course, you know, you're waiting then 2 weeks to smoke this, and it's not smokable bud. It's for hash, you know what I mean? So it was a learning curve. Yeah, we were thinking we were going to get lovely buds, or we were taking out like 300 or 400 seeds out of a bud, which then you're kind of going like, all you have is resin on your fingers. You're making keef, you know, that's about it. The returns off like is tiny. But yeah, looking over fields of green is a pleasure. It's just,
Especially in like
never ever leave me anyways. Yeah, just seeing the
partially desert atmosphere, and then all of a sudden you come up over the crest of a little hill and it's just fucking green as far as you can see, and then desert again. It's like, whoa.
Well, this was like really high in the Atlas Mountains, so like you were literally
you were up in the hills.
Yeah. Oh, there's no point in going and staying down the mountain if you go to
There's a
Morocco.
lot of soil erosion there, so it's not even as much organic soil as you think.
Do they have soils shipped in?
No, they
No, I
have
mean-
like, no. They have the Sahara Desert that drops enough silica on their soil every year that just blows naturally. So there is that one thing of like, you know, like this orangey sand that they comes over the whole comes the whole way over Europe anyways. Probably ends up in Canada as well in there. You know, different times of
Morocco's,
the year.
they're all decriminalized, right? Everything, all drugs, right? Is it Morocco,
No, that's in Portugal.
Portugal?
Yeah.
Okay. Bam, bam.
But that's because of the other trade, nothing to do with really hash. It's the Coca-Cola trade from South America. So yeah. But it just comes part and parcel of it's a route, isn't it? So
Oh, what I was gonna say is because I really like permaculture and food forest. My way of trying to integrate what you can do outdoors would be hash production from seed each year. If I can integrate into a permaculture where the seeds, you know, the plants that I let go to seed and let drop to, you know, and go on to seed the next spring's generation of plants. If I can get all that going and just, you know, weed out every male but the last few that I find, and just go and take like a cola off each plant, dry it out. It's all going to be seeded, obviously, and then you know, do it over screens, dry sift it, and then chuck around all the seeds from the best hash producing ones. Do that year after year after year. So basically, I have a permaculture where I'm not worried about, you know, planting seeds each year. It sprouts up naturally, and those plants just happen to be hash producers that are acclimated to whatever environment I'm in.
You're young, get started. It sounds like a lengthy process.
I did that.
Well,
Piper.
actually, it only takes 2 years. You do nothing to weed. If you put new plants that never were in any basically area that they've came from before, it only takes 2 years for them to acclimatize or you know, climatize to that environment. You don't need to do any male selection at all. You let nature do that on its own. And then after those 2 years, then you can come back and start purposely selecting for different things that you want. But the reason why you do that is because after 2 years, the plants that struggle to make it are weeded out. So now you have hardy plants, the ones that have natural immunities to everything going on around it, weather-wise, microbial-wise, pest-wise. So then you can select from there, because you're still going to have a wide variety of different phenotypes, but every phenotype will have been environmentally selected to, you know, thrive, or at least last until it gets seeded and able to drop new seeds for next year.
I did that for 10 years. For 10 years in one garden in the same ground. I never planted one seed by hand, or the first group of seeds I planted by hand. And that was it. The rest fell out of their mom.
See, a lot of the way that, you know, people are like, what happened in the 60s, or, you know, so long ago, like weed wasn't potent back then, and now it's 30%, and, you know, kids are going schizophrenic. And then old timers like, oh, no. We had strong weed back then. We had strong hash back then. Well,
It won't cause schizophrenia. It will only bring it out.
I don't even believe that. I still believe that's propaganda. You're already.
Oh, we had good weed back then.
It doesn't matter if you're 17 or 25 when schizophrenia comes out. You're still going to have it regardless of when it started, you know, expressing, or, you know. But
I don't think you count as old people, Martin.
Okay. Well, no, I'm talking about old timers. You don't have to be old.
I'm talking, yeah. I'm saying modern's like, we had good weed. And it's like, you're still young, bro.
What I'm saying,
Modern's like, the fuck I am.
I don't know about
a lot
that.
of that has to do with hash. There's, before 1966 or 67,
What
the
are you
only
saying about
two.
me? What are you saying about me? Gee, picking
Yeah.
on me now, singling me out here. Jesus. Huh? We were hippies.
The whole
They
world's
had
wide
good weed
for
too.
about 1,000 years. Go ahead. My bad.
I do
Hey,
think
guys,
weed has became better. It's more refined.
No, I
But
think it's dropped off.
otherwise,
I think it's dropped off even in my lifetime. I only been smoking for about 17 years, but even in my lifetime, it's garbage, especially from a dispensary. It's poop.
Poop sauce.
Wasn't it just all
I
cut down
don't.
and not
Well,
done or
dispense
anything?
rest, that's some dispensary weed, not
Yeah,
necessarily
but
everybody's weed.
dispensaries, they're chasing the hype and they're going after whatever is popular on Instagram, and it doesn't matter how good you grow it. It's poop.
They want what looks good.
Well, it doesn't even look good. It doesn't even have bag appeal.
It looks like poop.
It's poop.
It's poop.
I don't know. I've seen some nice stuff out there. It looks nice. Then you bring it home and it's
Well, then don't ever
burn
grow
your
again. Just
throat.
go to the dispensary and
That's
sure
why you
get
don't
poop.
buy with your eyes. Don't buy with your eyes. Never.
Yeah, but you don't. Sometimes you don't have that much. You don't have no choice but to.
Yeah, I know that thing where they don't allow you to touch. You can see, but you can't touch or smell. And I used to find that when I used to go to Morocco, and I used to, I'd be going like, I need to handle the hash. And they were going, but once you handle the hash, you buy it. And I'd say, I'm not going to, I'm not going to maul it up. I just want to see if it bubbles. Yeah. And I'd have a little closed loop and they would be going, what's this guy doing? They nearly want to put you out of the shop, because other people wouldn't be that specific. And it's like you're calling them out, in a sense. They don't like to be, they think if that guy got that, but he's in control, he's the guy that's
If I owned
just
a
a
shop and
customer.
you came in with that thing, I'd be like, the fuck out and go grow your own cannabis.
But you wouldn't. You'd be like, come in. I've got a loop. Let me show you how it burns. See, bro, you'd be ahead of him probably. It would be a thing that you would be aware that was needed rather than it. I get how that would be like, fuck off, man. Take it or fuck off.
Yeah, 98% of the dispensaries would do that.
Yeah.
Maybe he might get lucky and have one that'd be like, yeah, dude, come on in, test all our stuff. We don't give a fuck. It's legit.
Another thing I'm going to do as far as breeding, as far as an analysis of breeding that isn't lab dependent, I'm going to work in round numbers with 100 grams or 1,000 gram increments, but I'm very suspicious and skeptical about weed being 30+% THCA. And I can do a pretty efficient extraction. And then even the material that gets extracted, that can go for a lab test to see how inefficient of an extraction I had and how much material I left behind to still be extracted to quantify how much actual THCA is there. But if I can't get 30 grams of THCA, isolate from 100 grams of flower, then it's not 30% THC. And the same as with crazy people, crazy people saying they got crazy high amounts of terpenes. I can take 1,000 grams and put it in a steam distillation, essential oil setup. And if it doesn't come back with, 10% of that, if it doesn't come back with 100 milliliters of essential oil, then it's not 10% terpenes. So you don't have to go to a lab test. You can do extractions and, steam distillations to figure out how much actual. And then whatever you extract, say, yeah, you got your steamed distillate essential oils. You can send that to get lab tested to find out what kind of terpenes. But as far as people saying the amount of terpenes and cannabinoids are there, I'm super skeptical. Unless it, I mean, I can pull it out of the bud itself and weigh it on a scale, then I don't believe.
You don't have to be part of that conversation though, Red Pill. That's a language for those people. If you grow your own, you can just go, here, bruv, try that.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about
like,
just.
yeah, man, it's not. I know, but
it's an aspect of breeding too. Like I'm trying to be
I
independent
think
of
it's
a
a
lab to
sales
figure
pitch.
out these
It's a
kinds of.
complete sales pitch. I think it's just sales pitching.
Right.
It's hyping. It's hyping something that doesn't need to be. Because if you're opening them and they're selling you regular seeds, and the pheno hunt is huge, the expression is.
Well, that's even taking
you
a
know,
longer amount of time and not even. I know a lot of people, and especially in like the
how
format
how
we
you
are.
grow it in your environment as well. What you feed it. Do you push it to its full max?
Taking
There's
the
a whole
most amount of
different.
variables out of it is the best way of doing that, but unfortunately it takes the most amount of time too. So
Like
but
I'm
you're trying
like
to
I'm
take something
smoking this.
beautiful and you're trying to put numbers around it, and it just is a thing where it's like, it's nice. Is it nice? Yeah, let me have a bit.
So like on here, if you watch the progression of any of us and you see things done, you're gonna have us and they're like, hey man, you want to share some of that? And that's gonna be like, I could share it, but it's an unfinished project. I'm trying to cube a specific phenotype of a F1 hybrid. So I have to outcross that, which is the best phenotype that I find, and then back cross that twice to that mother plant. So, but then that's what I'm doing. I mean, that's how you get the most stable, least amount of phenotypic expression, despite what kind of environment you're growing in.
It should taste good.
Yeah.
That's in all its even in all its extractions.
So let's just say, obviously throughout being buddies with everyone, you're going to get, exclusive stuff that isn't going to be necessarily available through some seed bank that's selling my stuff retail that bought it wholesale. Those people are going to be all buying cubed varieties of whatever clone I start with. This all comes back from the term clone only. It would always annoy me, like clone only. Oh yeah, really, there's no seeds. Can't grow it from seed. Well, that's because no one took that clone and outcrossed it with something and then back crossed it to the point it was cubed. I mean, that takes a little while. I mean, even if you were to do it as fast as you can, and you go on a 56-day flower cycle, because let's just say that's what this plant has, you're still working on like a 2.5-year cycle to be able to do that. That's as short as amount of time as it would take to keep.
We're talking about clone only. It's meaning it's basically the pheno.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's not impossible to selectively breed. All you have to do is make an outcross. And F1, like say, I always bring up Agent Orange because most likely you're not also crossing it something that tastes exactly like a fucking orange peel. So let's just say you have some kind of skunky garlicky type clone that you want to back cross. We're making some regular seed stock that is just as good as that alleged clone only strain. Agent Orange is perfect to do that because in that F1 cross, you're going to get plants that resemble a lot like the Agent Orange, and you're going to get plants that resemble a lot like that skunky garlic plant. So it's easy for you to select the furthest thing away from an Agent Orange male. So now you got something that's almost a replica of that clone, terpene wise and growth structure wise and flower cluster wise, and it's a male. And you cross back to that female clone that you got. That already isolates a whole lot of those genes to where those seedlings that you sprout from that first back cross are 66 to 75% going to be a genetic or a phenotypic expression of that clone. You only have to do it one more time, back cross it again, or a second time, to make it 85 to 99%. So, you know, if you
You
said
you
round
need to
number,
work.
if
You need to work with
started,
try to get the skunk back then.
well, those are the, yeah, sure. You could do this with anything. Like I'm saying, it's any clone, literally any phenotype that you sprout from any seed or any clone that you can get your hands on can be back crossed and cubed. And theoretically, when you sprout those seeds, if you sprouted 100 seeds, regardless of male versus female, 85 to 99% of them are going to be similar to the mother clone or the mother plant that you've been back crossing to. I think that's stable enough, you know, especially if you're buying 5 and 10 packs.
So
Whoa. That's the great figure. Whoa.
what are we talking about? I'm like lost.
So that's how they came
We
up with
live the eagle again.
We lose Eagle again? No, he's right there.
Yeah, guys, sun's coming up over here, so my day is gonna start. Nice to see everyone. Have a good evening if you're over across the pond, and a nice rest of your day if you're over on this side.
Tuck me into bed, Cheddar Bob. Would you tuck me into bed? Would that be too weird?
No, man, I got kids.
Sweet.
I got
Bring
kids.
you fishing.
Yeah, yeah. You can fall
Drop you
asleep on
off
top
at
of the
lobsters.
fall asleep on top of the Detroit.
Good to
All
see you,
right,
Cheddar
have
Bob.
have a great morning, everyone. Peace out.
Yeah, so the same way they took Cinderella 99, the 99 is the 99%. It's cubed. It's almost 100% of the princess clone that they started with. So you can theoretically do that with anything. You can have your favorite cuvee cutting of a 99, you know, back crossed all the way. You can have your favorite white widow cutting, your favorite, I don't know, fucking Ramalama Ding Dong cutting.
I'm on the other end of that. I thought I had my mic on when Cheddar Bob was on there. Cheddar Bob, cheers. Sorry, didn't hear my goodbyes, brother. But I'm on the other end. He's getting his day started. I'm all falling out over here. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum than Cheddar Bob. But I think I'm going to have to call it here, guys. Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Tomorrow is another night. Hopefully you guys come back and pick up this conversation. But thank you for coming. Sorry for the abrupt ending.
I don't mind. I'm past my bedtime. I'm overtired right now. I bought a pimp suit today. I've done enough.
Did you buy a pimp suit?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I cheaped out. I'm not gonna say it's not like it diminishes what it's gonna be at all. But I did find like really nice tuxedos and really fancy things. It was just too rich for my blood. I didn't feel like spending that much money. I went the cheapest route, but it's still a pimp suit nonetheless. It's got a chain and a cane, and a hat and the robe and the pants and all that. You know, you'll see. You'll see.
Sounds like it's got all the essentials.
Yeah. All right, guys. Peace out.
Hey guys, peace out, everybody. Good to see everybody. Chat. Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out, Myler. Great pill.
I'm out. Peace. Cheers, everybody. WEedNerdWorld for life. Peace. I can't find how to get out. Kick me out, man. There it is. Damn, press it wrong. Love you guys.
Love you. He all flower. Who's left? Is it every? Who's got? modern genetics, 15. Crickets, nothing but crickets. Well, I guess, guys, with that, there he is.
Sorry.
Cheers.
What happened? We out of here.
Yeah, we're out. We're out.
Sorry, man. I was just dealing with the dog. Wickedness. Love, brother. Have a great day, man.
Have a great day, brother. Appreciate you coming on. Well, with that being said, no shout outs tonight. 'Cause I'm out using the phone and I have no music because I'm on the phone. But with that being said, hopefully you guys know the routine. If this is the end of your day, your journey, please get some rest. This is the beginning of your day, your journey. Have an amazing day. Take some time for some self-care. Then get out there and do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. With that being said, have an amazing day, and I will see you tonight. I am out of here. Love you guys. How do you get out of here?